And you just gonna do the intro and start.
Hello, 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 everyone out there. My name is Jessica Veale, and I'm here with the lovely, lovely Sheila Montague. We're just trying to give everybody time to get in a room on Clubhouse as we are streaming to multiple platforms at one time. We're just trying to reach the masses in the city of Newark, the younger generation and the older generation, because we want to hear your voices. We want to hear what it is that you're concerned about. We're just giving everybody a few minutes to join us. Feel free to comment below so that we can see your comments and Miss Sheila can address any questions or comments as far as Facebook. But on Clubhouse, we're in a room. We're waiting.
So Jessica, I just want to say thank you for joining us today.
Can you guys hear us okay on Facebook?
Okay, great. So I'm ready to begin when you are. We're just going to start off just saying welcome and thank you to everyone who joined our live broadcast today. Basically, this is a forum that we're creating to further the outreach in our community, to make sure that the concerns of the constituents here, that the residents here have a place to come to be proactive, right? And the change that we want to see happen here in our city of Newark. So with that being said, I'm just going to let Jessica introduce herself to you a little bit, and we'll get right to business.
Okay, so I grew up in the city of Newark, and just being, in my 30s, I know for myself there are a lot of things that goes on in the city that we all feel like so many people are passionate in the city of Newark about the things that matter to them the most, in the household, in the school systems, you name it. Everybody has a voice. And that's what I learned. Everybody has something to add. Somebody has a solution. Somebody's always saying, well, if they could have did it this way,
Right.
then it would have worked,
Right.
And that's where our passion started,
Absolutely.
So we just want everybody in the city of Newark to know that everyone has a voice and we're here to hear it. If there's anything that we can do that Miss Sheila can put into perspective to help change the lens in the city of Newark, to understanding that it's only effective if we do it together, to make you feel comfortable to open your mouth, to tell us what you're feeling. Because she does care. We see 3 people below. How are you doing? Feel free to comment. We will address the comments if there's anything that you guys have any concerns about. Ms. Montague, she has a plan for the city of Newark, and I'm excited in my generation. We're also putting together, we're still looking for people for the team. We also are recruiting.
Yes.
So if you feel like you want to be on a team, if you have a voice, things you want to say, things you want to change in the community, join us, comment. We're here to listen.
Okay. So again, if anyone has anything to add, please add. We're just talking right now to give everybody a time to log on. But we're going to be short because we want to be really respectful of the time of others, because time is essential. So I'm going to just start off saying that the outreach to the community is pretty much based on what it is that we're passionate about, right? Some of us are passionate about issues pertaining to policing. Some of us are passionate about issues that pertain predominantly to education. Some of us are really, really passionate about issues of housing. which have become under a lot of scrutiny these days, especially with the situation with COVID that just recently passed, and um, people had a bit of a rest, right, from paying rent. And so now that part is over, people are facing a lot of evictions, and there's a lot of social issues that's going on and centered around that. So these are some issues that we want to talk about. We want to know what your primary issues are, and we're not only using the tools that social media offers us, right? We're also doing community surveys. And one of the questions I just want to share with you, in terms of that, um, are you a registered voter? Oftentimes we see a lot of concerns going all over the place, whether it's on social media or whether it's in a barber shop, on a bus stop, right? And people are voicing their opinions, oftentimes in a way that's derogatory, oftentimes in a way that is put in the form of a complaint, right? Because people have high levels of frustration. But what we want to do is we want to take those issues, right? We want to take those concerns, and we want to be proactive in making those concerns ones that we can build off of to make Newark better and stronger than it was before. So with that being said, just look at the housing situation right now. What is it that we can do to impact the negative effect that it's having on people who cannot pay the rent, people who were told that they would not be evicted, but now people are being evicted. There are all types of housing laws and rules that are coming into play every single day. People who never even thought about politics are almost glued to every screen just to try to keep up with what is the new developments that are occurring in terms of housing, because it's important. And we also know what's important is that in the city, that the most recent census stated that we had over 300,000 people, that there are literally thousands of people at this point who are either homeless, rooming with someone, right? And that's not a good situation for people. People are not comfortable in that situation. We have a huge contingency of people who are living in shelters, who are being somewhat evicted in the morning. And some of these people are working 9 to 5s, and we should not have a situation where anybody in this country is working an 8-hour work day and they're still not able to pay rent for a particular place, right? So that brings another thing to place, right? The fact that we don't have enough affordable housing, and what that phrase looks like here in the city of Newark in 2021, where we have developers, right, trying to capitalize, and we get the point. It's business, right? And they're here to make money. But someone has to look out for the best interest of the people, of the constituents. And that's where being a registered voter matters. You have to be engaged. You have to be involved. You have to be the person, right? That the driving force behind who is sitting in the seat of representation for you, who is being the community servant for you. Because it's not about you serving your community, is your leadership, as much as, should I say, as much as it is about what your leadership can do for you, how your leadership can serve you. And that's why leaders are public servants. They are supposed to serve the public. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, well, that's how it's supposed to be, but that's not how it is. Because a lot of people, right, and just going around talking to people, people have become disenfranchised. And so I want to just take a few moments to share with you a different perspective, if you will, and attempts to just change the lens on how it is that we look at politics, right? So what we want to look at it is from a vantage point of this. When you control who sits in the seat, that gives you the power. But when we don't vote collectively, somebody else has the power. Now, let's talk for a moment about what it is that we look for when we're supporting a candidate. So some things that I have heard, for example, well, I want to see your website first. You got to consider, if a candidate has this great website and they have a lot of money to pay you that you don't even have to come on board as a volunteer, but they already have financial resources from you, you have to question, who is it that funded the website? Who is funding the actual campaign, because that is where I think that we get in a little bit of trouble. If we have outside forces coming in to control, right, our candidates, our leadership, controlling who it is that's supposed to be our servants, then they're no longer, um, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? They're no longer obligated to at least only serve us. Now they have to be held accountable by an entirely other force, right? That may not be in Newark, may not be of Newark, definitely may not have our common interests, right, as Newarkers. And that is a dangerous, dangerous recipe for a huge conflict that can many times often result in us not getting the wants and needs that we so desire. So, with that being said, I want to just see if anyone is making comments so that we can weigh in to what your questions and comments are. Because again, this is not about me. This is about the public. So with that being said,
Totally.
yeah,
I was yeah. So Jessica, what do you think about
Jessica, what do you think about some things?
I think that you are 3,000% right. The issue is people do not feel like they need to vote because they feel like their opinion does not matter and they are not going to be heard. But that literally is a lie. Because, okay, if you feel like the odds are against us, right? Then what are we doing to change that? It starts from something. And we have to be the ones to step up and say, hey, this is not right. Some people have ideas. Some people are furious about some of the things that go on, but they don't feel that they voice their opinion, that people are going to be heard, that they should not voice their opinion. But we know that everybody has something special in them, something that you can see, I may not be able to see. And your solution may just be the piece of the puzzle that's needed in the city. Why move out of the city when we can do something still within the city? And the thing is this, people always used to tell me, I'm growing up and I learned people, oh, when you move away, you could do this. When you move away, you could do that. I did move away and I'm back. And the reason why I'm back is because there's something that needs to be done in the city. And there's people that is going to be able to step up and say, you know what I see is not right. This is not suitable for my child. How can I go to work and still be able to live home with my kids and pay my bills? How can I do these things? If I'm in a situation where my child is sick, if I'm in a situation where I don't have the energy or the strength, I feel like I could barely put my feet on the floor. Do I have to literally keep going to these classes and go to welfare and feel like they don't really want to help me? And I'm not saying something is wrong with welfare, but what I'm saying is there's always other alternatives. There are other alternatives. There are programs that really will follow up. There are programs. And if you feel like there is none, help us create some.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, we're here to see everybody win. But if you don't voice your opinion, if you don't use that passion that you have to say, you know what, that's really not right, then how are you going to even be encouraged or motivated to speak? Everybody has voices in the city of Newark. We have plenty of good actors, rappers, all of these influencers that come out of the city of Newark and make something of themselves. But they have to start from something.
Right.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we got to start from somewhere. I'm here to encourage you, Newark.
Yeah.
Open your mouths. Yeah. Open your mouth. Spread the word. Like, listen, at least this time around, we lucked up. This time around, we got somebody that wants to hear us so we can make the solutions together. Weekly meetings. Not, I'm too busy for you. I can't answer your call. I can't do this and do that. But somebody that's going to say, you know what, I'm a little busy right now, but I promise to get back to you and actually mean it.
Yeah.
Actually mean it, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Jessica.
I'm muted. I apologize there. So I was just saying thank you to Jessica for her kind words. And I appreciate every word that you just shared. And I'm really happy about the feedback that I've been getting in the community because it's been really positive. And that's what we're headed toward, right? We want positive change. We want change that's going to make Newark better. We don't want to continue having the type of change that comes with a bunch of negativity. No. I love what you said about us having talent here in this city because we don't only just have talent for singing, dancing, rapping, or academics, or we have talent, right, for everything. I mean, we can run the gamut on the talent that we have right here in the city of Newark. And all we have to do is reach out, collect that talent, put it together, and make it work to make our city better. And it's really easier than what you think it is. But it's going to take hard work. It's going to take people, right? And not just one person. It's going to take people that are committed to change, that are committed to doing the hard work. Because one thing that has a lot of our systems dysfunctional right now in the country stems upon people in position who are just not doing the work. Like you just said, I want to go back to something you just said earlier about when you go down to welfare. People had to climb their way up. So when you're going to a place like welfare, for example, how is the customer service? Are those people in place to help you, to guide you along, to make you feel like you're just important as they are? Or are they frustrated? Are they short with you? Are they exhibiting a poor amount of patience or acting like they're better because maybe they have degrees? Or that is not what a higher education is about. Higher education is to come back and serve our community. And the only way that you can do that is to be sensitive to people's pride, to people's thoughts and feelings. Even with education that you just mentioned, people give us their best, their children. And it does not matter, or let me say it should not matter, if a mom is working all day long. If their child comes to school, their child should be in the midst of safety. They should be in the midst of good behavioral practices. They should be in the midst of education that's going to help them in a booming world of technology, and to be prepared for the environmental issues that we're facing, and not just to be prepared for the many problems that we're going to be having facing in the future, but to be solution orientated in the trajectory of facing those issues and problems. So you see, leadership matters. It matters on every level. And you have to be inclusive, right? You have to be able to listen and understand that one person doesn't have all the answers. Because I would never kid you and say, I'm perfect and I have all the answers, because I don't. But what I can commit to say is that I'm an orchestrator, I'm an organizer, I am a listener, and I'm a really hard worker. And if you take a chance to come with us on this trek, to help make this journey a historic event, whereas we can take Newark on by storm and be the blueprint for all other communities in terms of working together, being proactive in the goals that we want to accomplish, making sure that the police are doing what they're supposed to do. Right? Making sure that people in customer service are serving the people, because some people may say, what does that have to do with it? It has a lot to do with it. We, in many of our urban communities, are trauma stricken. I don't need to be down on my luck. I already know that I may not have food for my family right now. I may already know that I have made some mistakes that's impacted me from being in a different situation right now. But these things are just temporary. And we need to make people understand that work in community service in this community, that when people come in, that if those people weren't coming in, that those jobs wouldn't exist. So it starts with respect. It starts with a really innate love and passion for each other, to help each other. And that's why we're asking for you to join us. This is our first show amongst many, and we're not going to be long-winded this evening, because the show is not about us, it's about you. It's about making sure that you understand that you have a platform that has been created for you to share your problems, to share your concerns, to put it in a mixer and pump out solution-orientated tomorrows to help our city, Newark, be better than it is today. Jessica, is there anything that you want to add?
Of course, I've been trying to remain quiet over here. As you be talking good, the good gems. But let me tell you one thing I've learned, me myself, because I can only speak for myself. With Miss Sheila Montague, I feel like people can trust her. I feel like already in her own individual life, What is, how they say the fruits? What's your character? What's your vibes? Who are you outside of the campaign? And this is not about campaigning. This is about hearing the people to be able to make the change, putting yourself in the right position, sitting in the right seat, because she's a fighter. I feel like anytime things go wrong, Miss Sheila is right there. She's the one that's trying to help, trying to encourage, and point people in the right direction in her own life, which has nothing to do with this. So why not go for the person, meaning trust the person, right? Put them in the seat. That's going to get back to you. That's going to hear your concerns. That's going to get out of her bed, come to your house. That's and be like, sis, you said what? They did what? They turned your lights off? I'm here. That's right. And that's not going to lie to you. People feel like they can't trust the politicians because they lie. Miss Sheila don't be lying. She'll get on there. She don't care what her day is. She won't get on there and talk to you, whether it's 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10, 20, an hour and a half. We need transparency because we need to be able to trust. And I'm talking about us as people, as Black people, as Newark residents or former Newark residents, whoever. When you in this city and you feeling the pain in this city, you can't get purpose without pain. So at the end of the day, all of the voices, all of that pain birth passion in all of us, and we want to hear it. If you know how to play a saxophone, if you know how to play a piano, we want to hear it. If you write poetry to deal with your situations, we want to hear it. If you write music, we want to hear it. If you want to go to school and fight with your words now for respect and all of the good things, for your child to be honored and teach the correct way. Because teachers, let me tell you, some people don't want their job applications. They like, listen, I filled it out because I needed a job, but I'm over this. But you got some people that can go the extra route with your kids. I think we should even be in the school system, just understanding what it means to teach to people. That's a great advantage with getting to meet the people where they are.
Thank you, Jessica.
And open your mouth, because that's what we all need to do. Voice your opinion. If I would have never told Miss Sheila how I felt, I would never be sitting at this table with her.
Wow, that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. And so in my travels, I hear from a lot of people. And this is my way of answering the call to make sure that we're coming together and that your voice is being heard. And that's what's really important. It's not about like I said, it's not about me. It's about the people. It's about the people that are not being heard. It's about people who are losing hope, and we can't allow that to happen. So with that being said, I just want to thank you guys for joining us. Next, every Wednesday, we're going to be here at 8 o'clock, and we're going to take your questions. We're going to take your concerns. We're going to be talking on specific issues. Like I said, today was just a very brief synopsis of what it is that we want to accomplish. And again, those goals are just making sure that your voice gets heard, making sure that your concerns are shared, making sure that we change the lens on what it is that is not happening now, that we can create what is happening now, that we can expound upon, and how we can just make Newark a better place for everybody so that we have more smiles, so that we have a greater quality of life. And so overall, that Newark is a place that we can be happy to call home. So thank you for joining us. Transparency matters, right? And only together can we make the change that we need, changing the lens together. Thank you guys. And until next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. See you then.
Just one last pin. If you have any questions, concerns, put them in the comments and we'll address them on the next meeting every Wednesday. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.